What is going on, my fellow vegans? This is another episode of the Fit Foodie podcast. I am your host, Luis Medrano, head coach at Vegan Body Goals, fitness coaching for vegans. In this episode, we're going to talk about simplify the secret to meal plans that stick. Because often, guys, what is the main thing that makes the biggest difference in our fitness journey? There are many things, but if we simplify it down, the top of the pyramid has to be your nutrition and how you handle that and how you deal with that. So I want to share with you guys just a quick little backstory of why this topic and how this came to be. So I've been vegan since 2007, and it's been an incredible journey. It's been a lot of ups and downs, a lot of mistakes, definitely some learning experiences, but grateful for it all. One of the best decisions I've ever made, right? But with that came a lot of learning, right? A lot of mistakes and a lot of learning. Now, one of the things that I struggled with in recent years as a vegan was finding something that worked as far as losing weight and getting fit. And for me, it was always about, so just to kind of give you a little background, I moved to Las Vegas actually in 2014, and in the spring of that year, of the following year in 2015, I joined a 6-week challenge which dealt with the goal of losing 20 pounds. So I dropped $300 to join the challenge, and the idea was that if you lost 20 pounds, then you get your $300 back. And I did it. I was successful. I lost 20 pounds. But from there, I didn't really it didn't stick. It did not stick. I did not do anything to make it stick. And I ended up gaining the weight back, through old habits. And even though I was vegan, even though I was following whole foods, plant-based diet, for the most part, I had, other eating habits that weren't the best, eating out on the weekends a lot, drinking with friends and things like that. But I never was able to stick to something that worked, right? For that 6-week challenge, they gave us a meal plan. It wasn't vegan at all, but I was able to veganize it, right? Just take some of the items and switch it out for vegan proteins, vegan alternatives, right? Most of it was fruits and vegetables anyways, but anyways, I turned it vegan and I was able to make it work. And after that, I really didn't have a structure, no game plan on what to do next. And so that's why I ended up gaining the weight back. And you might relate to this, but oftentimes people, and I did this too, we focus more on the fitness aspect of it, right? I got to get on the treadmill for 30 minutes a day. I got to go for runs every morning. And we go hard on the fitness, but we often neglect the nutrition and the meal plans. And that is what's going to make the biggest difference, right? And the meal plan has to be top when it comes to losing weight and getting fit. Your meal plan and the food that you eat makes the biggest difference. There are other factors that are important too. Don't get me wrong. Sleep, your training, that's all crucial too. Stress levels and all that. But without a proper dialed in nutrition plan, you're really going to just go in circles. And that was me for many years. After doing that 6-week challenge, and losing the 20 pounds, I just slowly gained it all back. I never had a meal plan that stuck. And even when I tried doing it, after that, just finding meal plans, there was just nothing that I could really stick to. And it seemed overwhelming because there was a lot of information, tons of recipes, and I never had anything that stuck, right? So one of the main things that people struggle with regards to meal plans that work for them, and I know I experienced this too, was having food, trying to be too strict, right? So restricting foods and eliminating food because you think that they're not going to be good for a specific fitness goal. Like, for example, not having bread, not having this food or that food, and feeling that you have to stick to a more restricted, strict diet. And that kind of puts people in the mentality of, this is going to be hard. It's going to be restrictive. I'm not going to like it. How long am I going to last? Do I need willpower? And that often is the case. And that's one of the main struggles why people cannot stick to meal plans, right? Well, through all my trials and all my lessons and learned and mistakes, I've narrowed it down to the secret on how to make it work for you so that you're able to basically lose weight at will, lose as much weight as you want in the time frame that you want, or even reverse it and gain some weight and put on some muscle, so it comes down to just kind of going back to the basics of weight loss. It really comes down to eating less food than you burn so that you're able to lose body fat over time, right? That's the key concept. And just like with gaining weight, if you want to put on weight, gain muscle, aka muscle, right? Because we don't want to put on body fat. You need to eat a little more food than your body burns. Over a period of time, you will put on weight. And that's the foundation, right? But the key is being able to do that consistently. And as I mentioned before, the struggle for many people, and I experienced this too, was finding meal plans that work. The internet is overwhelming, has an overwhelming amount of recipes that it becomes difficult to navigate it all and knowing what to eat and what to do, right? So that's pretty much the main struggle. And what I want to give you in this episode, in this podcast episode, is the secret to having meal plans that stick so that you can actually achieve your fitness goals. I'm going to give you some actionable plan that you can actually do, and some things that involve a little bit of reflection and thinking before you actually go make the food and eat the food, right? So let's begin with, first of all, if you're on a fitness journey, you should, at the very beginning of whatever journey you're on, you want to lose 10 pounds, 50 pounds, whatever it may be, everybody's different. Identify your why. What are you doing and why? What is your vision and why do you want to do it? So let's say, for example, you want to lose 15 pounds by Christmas because you're having a family reunion and you want to be fit and confident, looking good when you meet up with your family. Or let's just use that as an example, right? So you have a vision, you have a goal, you have a why. Start with that. You have to start with your personal motivation, something that's going to keep you in the game, right? Because it's easy at first, but then it's going to get difficult. Things might get challenging. And then that's when people fall off and they don't stick to their meal plans, right? They don't stick to their fitness goal. And it has to be something that really makes you motivated when you think about it, right? Maybe you are going on vacation in the next few months and you want to have a beach body or be confident in your swimsuit or your bikini, right? Maybe that's your motivation. It has to be something that really is strong and motivates you. So begin with that, right? The next thing is understanding that you have to have some flexibility. You should not be struggling because of restriction. This is not a restrictive diet. You shouldn't be eliminating food groups. Unless you're allergic to a certain type of food and you can't have it, then you should not be restricting foods that you enjoy. Now, I'm not talking about, you're going to lose weight eating French fries and burgers all day, because there is, a balance that you should have. But most of your food should be healthy food, like fruits and vegetables, things that we know are good for us, right? Fruits, veggies, whole foods, with, throwing in some fun foods in there. Like personally, me, I like ice cream. I like going out for dinner here and there. Those are like fun foods for me, right? So understand that there is some flexibility. You don't have to have a mindset of it's going to be rigid and restrictive, right? So you don't want to feel burnt out after 2 weeks because you're restricted, right? So understand that that's going to be something that you keep in mind as you progress. So the next thing is really pinpointing, in order to make this work, pinpointing what are foods that you enjoy. What are foods that you wouldn't mind having, right? For example, you might say potatoes is like a staple for you and you love potatoes, or maybe you like oatmeal for breakfast. That's like a go-to for you, and it's easy and you have no trouble eating that. Think of foods that you would not get bored of if you were eating it every day, right? And I'm kind of hinting towards what the secret's going to be here, but think of foods that you enjoy eating every day that don't feel like a chore to you. So maybe you could identify a list of like 4 or 5 foods that you enjoy eating, that you can have on repeat, right? And that won't be an issue for you to eat, right? So just again, it's not about taking away foods. It's about creating a list of foods that you enjoy, adding foods in, right? So let's get down to the nitty gritty, right? After you've identified your vision, what you want and why, and your strong why, the secret to creating meal plans that stick are, number one, creating a bank of 5 to 10 meals or simple recipes that you absolutely enjoy, right? Let me give you an example. For me, I'm a huge fan of French toast, and it is a go-to for me for breakfast whenever I feel like having French toast. I don't mind having it. And I really don't get bored of it unless I've been having it for like weeks on end, which I really don't do anyways. But for me, French toast would be in that bank of recipes that I have, right? So French toast for me is, I know how to make it vegan. It's so delicious. It's amazing. I posted it in my story before. You can check it out. My French toast recipe, but it's super fast to make. It's easy to make. It's satisfying. It's delicious, right? It has a good amount of protein, carbs, and fats, right? Fitness food. And that's a food that I would include in my bank. So I don't mind having French toast on repeat, say for 7 days in a row or more, right? Now you want to have a bank of meals that you enjoy having on repeat. Now you might be thinking, well, I don't have any meals that I enjoy. Think of foods, narrow instead of meals and full-on recipes, think of foods that you enjoy. So you might be a fan of, as I mentioned earlier, potatoes. You're a fan of French fries, and I love you love making air fried potatoes or air fried French fries, that are not deep fried and full of grease, right? Maybe that's your go-to. So to start creating a list of ingredients or food items or recipes that you can go to over and over again, right? The second secret, after you have your bank of 5 to 10 recipes, is repeat. Often I've heard it said, it kind of sounds negative, but it's really not when you think about it. Eat like a dog to reach your fitness goals. Think about a pet. If you have a dog or a cat, they pretty much eat the same thing every day, right? And especially a dog, they for the most part savor their food when it's time to eat, and they love it. They enjoy it. They eat it, right? Now, I'm not saying you have to eat the same food for weeks and weeks and weeks on end, but if you can go 7 to 10 days or say 2 weeks of eating the same 3 to 4 recipes every day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks, it makes it so much easier to actually stick to it than trying to come up with a bunch of different recipes over and over again and overwhelming yourself, trying to figure out what you're going to get every week. And it's a sure way to burn out when you're trying to switch up recipes too often. It is a sure way to burn out. Trying to figure out what recipes to get at the grocery store, trying to figure out what meals to make, and switching things up too often is not going to work, and you're not going to stick to a meal plan that works for your fitness goal. Now, if you can really get good at this, I would say switch it up every 2 to 4 weeks. If you can go 30 days, so about 4 weeks of just eating the same meals that hit your macronutrients, which are your protein, carbs, and fats for your specific goal, you will make progress so much faster than just trying to switch things up and being all over the place, right? And if you're thinking, oh, Luis, 4 weeks, that's too much. Like, I'm going to get bored of it. That goes back to secret number one, foods that you enjoy. Like, I could eat French toast every day for a month. And then after that, I'd probably want to switch it up, but I don't mind that. Now, if you could do that, then you're going to make results much, much faster. Now, if you're thinking 30 days is too much, then go for 2 weeks. And if you want to start small, then go for 1 week. That way you make one grocery trip, maybe two if you like getting things a little more fresher in your fridge for just those meals for that week. That way you're eating the same breakfast, lunch, snack, and dinner for an entire week. And that also lessens the decision making that you have to do, right? You're no longer having to make all these decisions about food. You know exactly what you're going to eat, and you know that those foods hit your macronutrient and calorie targets for your specific weight loss goal. So secret number one, create a bank of 5 to 10 recipes that you can go on repeat. Secret number two, eat the same meals every day for breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. Try to go for 7 days. Ideally, if you can go 30 days and then switching it up after 30 days, you are going to hit your fitness goal so much faster. Guys, when I worked with the fitness coach, a vegan fitness coach, I did this for the very first time. I did 4 months of coaching, and there was essentially 4 phases of meal plans, right? And that's it. 4 meal plans in 4 months. So for month one, I had the same breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks. For month two, the same breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks, and so on until I completed 4 months of being in that fitness program. And it made the biggest difference that I've ever experienced in my entire life, even after being vegan for years, right? I was able to finally see changes in my body composition. For the first time ever in my life, I was able to see my abs. I mean, I know I have ab muscles, but I could never see them. And I was able to see them. And then from that point on, I knew how to navigate my fitness. I knew how to put on weight. After that, I realized, you know what? I want to put on more muscle now that I lost all this fat. It's time I see that I want to put on more muscle. And, over the next couple of months, I figured out how to take the same concept, but now apply it to gaining weight, which was, again, pick my favorite meals, do the same foods for 7 days, 2 weeks, up to 30 days, and then use that same process to then reverse it and start gaining weight, gaining muscle, right? So if you can do that, you're going to be on your way to reaching your fitness goals, guys. Let's recap a little bit, guys. So number one, begin with your goal, your vision, and your why. Okay, what is it you want to do, and why do you want to do it? Make sure it's strong enough why. Like if you just say, I want to lose 5 pounds because I want to have more energy in the mornings. Like, okay, that might be good for you, but how about the stronger your why, the more motivated you're going to be whenever you're feeling down, right? So have a goal and then have a why of why you want to achieve that goal, right? And then step two, these are the two secrets. They're going to allow you to get meal plans that stick so that you can achieve your fitness goal in the least amount of time. Number one is pick a bank of 5 to 10 recipes that you absolutely enjoy, that you love to eat, that you don't mind putting on repeat. And then number two, eat the same foods every day for a set period of time, whether that's 1 week or whether that's a month. I would recommend 2 weeks to 4 weeks. That way it's easy. You know exactly what you're going to eat. You don't have to think about what to eat or what to grocery shop. And then after that, you can switch it up and try different meals, maybe change breakfast up, maybe try a different dinner or switch your smoothie up or whatever the case may be, right? And that is the secret to meal plans that stick, guys. 5 to 10 meals that you enjoy. Eat the same food every day, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks for a set period of time. And then once you got that done and you're ready to change things up, then you switch it up. Okay. One last little bonus secret that I want to leave with you guys is if you're able to track your progress, it's one way to know whether you're actually going towards your fitness goal. So if your goal is to lose 10, 15, 20 pounds and you're maybe doing a weekly weigh-in, you're able to see if what you're doing is working. So a little bonus secret is make sure you track your progress, guys, because what we measure improves. So if you see that you lost, half a pound to 2 pounds in a week, then you're on the right track. If you see that after 1 or 2 weeks, your weight is staying the same, then you can still eat the foods you want to eat, but it's time to adjust the amounts that you're having. You don't have to change the foods. If you enjoy bread and sandwiches, eat your bread and sandwiches. But you might just have to make some slight adjustments in the amounts of foods that you already enjoy eating so that you're able to lose weight. Or if you're doing something like gaining muscle, you're able to gain weight. So that's it, guys. Hope you enjoyed that. These are the two secrets to meal plans that stick so that you can reach your fitness goal in the fastest time possible. And I hope you enjoyed this, guys. This is the Fit Foodie podcast. And I'm your host, Luis Medrano, head coach at Vegan Body Goals, fitness coaching for vegans. I hope you found this useful, and I'll see you in the next episode. Much love, peace, happy Friday, and enjoy your weekend, guys.